Happy mid-morning, guys. All right. So CPI numbers, inflation came in here about 15 minutes ago, and came in at 4.9%. Okay, the economists were expecting 5, and so of course you're already hearing all the media outlets going, "It's better than expected. We're looking good." Blah blah blah. Trying to pump smoke up a Joe's ass, saying, "You're doing a good job," right? Okay. This is the thing. The numbers are very misleading because what it is it's 4.9% higher than it was from April of last year when we were 8.2% higher than we were the year before. I want to give you just some quick figures here. All right. Did the math. In April of 2020, Trump's last April of his presidency, okay? If you bought a steak, let's say a T-bone, and I'm just coming up with something, and it cost you $10 a pound, okay? A year later, into Biden's presidency, that steak would now cost you $10.42 a pound, just based on inflation numbers. I'm not talking food inflation, I'm just talking about the lie that the government is telling us. In April of 22, that same pound of steak would have cost you $11.27. From there, according to these numbers, what just came out today, that same 1 pound of steak would cost you $11.83. So I want to give you this. According to the government's own numbers, okay, which we all know are completely fudged, inflation under Joe Biden's presidency since he took office is approximately 18.3%. Yes, Joe's been president for 2 years and 5 months. Okay? 18.3%. That is the true number because you can't compare 4.9 to whatever. You've got to do it cumulatively because it's 4.9% on top of what was added last year, on top of what was added the year before. In case anybody wants to know, in the last 2/3 of 2020, okay, in case anybody says, "Oh, some of this is Trump's fault," inflation was actually coming down in the second half of 2020, okay? Just saying. So when you're hearing all these numbers today, and everybody's going, "Oh, look at this," CNN or MSNBC, look, the Democrat policies are working. No, look at the real number. According to their figures, the official numbers, not the real ones, the official numbers, inflation under Joe Biden right now is 18.3%. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Because everything that you're paying now costs you 18% more. Just saying. This is how they manipulate numbers. Statistics lie, right? Okay. They'll spin it no matter how you want to do it. According to the CPI figures today, the one that's, just kind of quiet. Oh, yeah. The price of everything from March to April went up again, okay? So as much as they say it's coming down from last year, where we were at a peak last year, 8.2% last April. Gee, we're coming down from there. Where are we from March to April? We're up. Things are more expensive here on May 10th than they were, were more expensive on April 10th than they were on March 10th. Gee, let's see what happens now that we go into May. And I don't know, summer gasoline, that's going to go up. Where do we see it here? Again, do not listen to the lies. They will twist and turn and make a pretzel out of everything they can. Now, How did the markets turn around on that today? Well, the markets were down, the Dow futures were down about 45, 50 points before the numbers came out. They're now up about 170. So the market's taking this as a good thing. Even take a look at gold and silver. Gold was down about $8 at 8.29. It's now up around 11. Okay, so there's a $20 turn. You know, if you listen to this morning's video and bought some silver or something like that before the numbers came out, silver was down about 12 cents this morning before, half an hour ago. It's now up 17 cents. There's a 30-cent move. Okay, you don't think that's much. That's a 1% move, guys. That's a big difference. What is this telling us? All right, that if inflation's coming down, this is how the signals go. If inflation's coming down, chances are, these numbers today say maybe the Fed does not hike rates again. Just giving you that, all right? So there's a positive. What the negative comes in is what I was talking about this morning. The closer and closer and closer that the government gets to defaulting is going to drive rates higher itself. Market conditions will drive the rates higher rather than manipulated figures, all right? So again, it is a worrisome thing. If you've got debt, you need to get out. If you have extra cash, you need to park it somewhere into something that's worthwhile having. Gold, silver, beans, bullets, band-aids, land, whatever it is. Something that's tangible. Because what this is all telling us today is the dollar's getting weaker, and you can see that this morning just by what's going on in the dollar index. The dollar index is at 101 even right now, down about 1/3% today. Inflation's coming down. The way they put it, inflation is still ridiculously going up, okay? We are not anywhere near a sigh of relief, a breath of fresh air, happy days are here again, Joe's doing anything right. No, we are still in a world of hurt, and it's just going to get worse. We are getting closer and closer and closer to a deep recession. Stagflation is definitely rearing its ugly head. This summer, this fall, is going to be ugly for your money, guys. Every day that passes, you got a little bit more or a little bit less time to get your house in order. Take care of what you got. Do not listen to the spin they're putting on. I don't care how they say, 4.9% is a good number. No, 4.9% is not a good number. We're talking 18% since Joe took office. All right. Did you get a 5% pay raise from last April to this April? Probably not. If you didn't, guess what? Your spending power has gone down. Your dollars are worth less. You can't buy as much. And we've been talking about this for years. You go into your pantry right now and pull out that can of green beans that you bought 2 years ago or 3 years ago and look at the sticker, if you got lucky enough, there's stickers on it. 59 cents. And now you go to the store and that same can of green bean is $1.29. You tell me inflation's coming down. It ain't. They can lie all they want. Those of us who are a little smarter, meaning all of us, know the truth.